Hey, welcome. So, today we're diving into a pretty cool idea for business. What if your biggest strategic advantage wasn't buried in a spreadsheet, but was actually right up there in the sky? Yep, we're talking about using the ancient rhythm of the moon to time your modern moves for, maximum impact.
You've totally felt this before, right? You've got this great idea, a solid plan, but no matter what you do, it just feels like you're swimming upstream, fighting this invisible current. Well, that frustration, it often boils down to one crucial and usually overlooked variable: timing.
Now, let's be really clear about something. This isn't about throwing out your business plan and replacing it with star charts. Not at all. It's about enhancing your strategy with another layer of intelligence, a framework for aligning what you're doing with these natural, predictable, energetic tides.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how do I actually start doing this? Well, it is way simpler than you might think. The first step isn't about doing complex math or anything like that. It's just about observation. It all starts with getting the right tools and just starting to pay attention.
Okay, so your very first practical step is to get an astrological calendar. You can find them from publishers like Llewellyn or Maynard. The really important thing is to find one that lists these void-of course periods for your time zone. Just think of these as little cosmic pause buttons in the week. Seriously, just start by highlighting these times, and you've already taken a huge step forward.
And while you're looking at your new calendar, here's a super easy way to just dip your toe in the water. The source material suggests this simple but pretty powerful ritual. Find the next time the moon is in the sign of Taurus. That's a sign all about value and stability. Opening a new savings account on that specific day is seen as planting a seed for steady, long-term financial growth. How cool is that?
All right, let's get into the single most important timing mistake to be aware of. It happens every few days, and just knowing about it can save you a world of frustration. It's called the void of course moon.
So what even is it? Well, think of the moon as a kind of cosmic courier, delivering the energy that pushes things forward. But for a few hours every couple of days, it goes void of course, which basically means it's between deliveries. It's not making any major connections, so there's just no forward-moving energy for new stuff. It's kind of like a short mini Mercury retrograde.
And this brings us to the number one golden rule from financial astrology. The sources call this a tested precept, and they are not kidding around. Kicking off anything that you want to have a real, concrete, successful outcome during this time is, well, it's just not a good idea.
And look, this isn't just theory. One of our sources tells this story about a specific storefront where, one after another, businesses would launch during a void-of-course moon, and they'd all fail within months. The common thread wasn't the business idea, it was the timing of the launch.
So the trick is knowing what to do. Because these happen every 2 to 3 days, you can't just stop working. The key is to shift your focus. Avoid starting anything new or important. So don't sign that contract, don't launch that big campaign. Instead, use this time for all that routine stuff, finishing up old projects, or honestly, just taking a well-deserved break. And get this, you can actually use this cosmic pause strategically. If you have to do something that you hope just kind of flies under the radar or has no major consequences, the void of course moon can be your best friend. It's a fascinating way to turn what seems like a negative into a real tactical advantage.
Okay, so we've covered the cosmic pause button. Now let's talk about the accelerator.
We're shifting from defense to offense by really harnessing the primary rhythm of the month, that cycle from new moon to full moon and all the way back again.
This is another one of those tried and true rules you see in a lot of old texts. The new moon, that is your astrological green light. The sky is dark, which represents a blank slate, the perfect time for setting intentions and planting the seeds for what you want to grow over the next month.
You can really break the whole month down into two main phases. As the moon grows from new to full, that's the waxing phase, the energy is all external. It's focused on building. This is your go time. Then, as it shrinks from full back to new, the waning phase, the energy turns inward. It's perfect for review, analysis, and just wrapping things up.
And for anyone who loves data, this is pretty fascinating. Research that looked at stock prices across 48 countries actually found a tangible correlation here. The thinking is that the whole mood of the market shifts with the lunar phases, with more optimism when the moon is growing. It suggests there's this collective psychological tide that we can all learn to navigate.
Okay, now let's put it all together. We can actually break the monthly cycle down into this really clear 8-phase workflow. It's basically a playbook for what to focus on every few days. This is how you really start to align your day-to-day work with that cosmic rhythm.
Let's walk through it. Okay, phase 1, new moon. This is all about strategy and setting clear intentions. 2, the waxing crescent, time to take those first crucial actions. 3, the first quarter. This often brings a challenge, a decision point. Use this time to get organized and push through it. 4, the waxing gibbous is about refinement, honing your skills, perfecting the project. 5, the full moon. This is peak visibility, the absolute best time to launch, make an announcement, or just get out there. Then the energy shifts. 6, the waning gibbous, time to review what worked and release what didn't. 7, the waning quarter. This is for acknowledging your success and making any final tweaks. And finally, number 8, the waning crescent, your time to rest, recharge, and get ready for the whole cycle to start all over again.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's all about smart timing. Start with a calendar to track those critical void of course periods. Use the new moon as your starting gun for new projects and the full moon for your big reveals. When you start planning your monthly workflow around the moon's waxing and waning phases, you begin to work with the natural flow of energy, not against it.
Ultimately, this whole approach isn't meant to be a restriction, but a form of strategic intelligence. It gives you a new lens to look through, and it changes the question from, am I working hard enough, to, is this the right time to be working on this? And you know what? That is a really powerful shift in perspective.